Hey, welcome to another sexy Batman Arkham Asylum Series 2 figure review. We've already looked at Victor Zsasz. As you can see, here he is over here, looking very proud, unaware there's a Dalek Armada behind him, but I'm sure he'll get through it. Can you technically... could you tally on a Dalek armour, on Dalekanium? I have no idea. Anyway, we're going to have a look at another figure in this range now, namely a second villain. What am I on about? We're going to look at the second villain in the wave. A character favourite of mine. Here she is, Poison Ivy. What a figure. Now, Poison Ivy in the game, as you know, Pamela Isley has the ability to create pheromones, poisons, toxins, and in some incarnations can full-on control plant life. She is basically a gigantic environmental activist, and if you hurt her plants, she is going to absolutely kick your ass. Now, in the game Arkham Asylum, Poison Ivy isn't part of Joker's plan to release toxins in certain inmates, but she is certainly accepted into it when Harley frees her, which is nice because it means I've now got Harley and Poison Ivy, and most fanboys will know they are the perfect pairing. So Poison Ivy enters the fray a bit late and ends up wanting to kill Joker because he's using her plants and affecting her plants to develop his spin on the venom toxin. I can't remember what it's called, but you know. The figure, as you can see, we'll do that snazzy thing one more time. The figure looks absolutely phenomenal. It's a brilliant sculpt, facially as well. Like very cartoony but very realistic. I'm very, very pleased with the way the facial sculpt turned out. Don't know about the hair, the whole sort of windswept hair thing. I think that's just because to make it look alive, it's got to be in a position that normal hair would not be in. But genuinely fantastic sculpt, very alluring, very sensual, and a little bit sexy. So yeah, Poison Ivy sculpt is very cool. Now, as a figure, this is... oh, it pains me to say it because I love Poison Ivy, but this is not the best toy. They have had to sacrifice flexibility and articulation for design and to keep the shape. So, usual pegged base. So, pop her off there. So, yeah, Poison Ivy has very, very minimal thigh groin articulation. They've got our A up. Very minimal groin articulation. No other articulation in the legs, which of course makes them look cool, but it means you can't have her sort of crouched or sat on a plant or anything. No waist articulation to preserve the hips. Head is on a, again, very stiff ball joint that feels, I mean, if I'm honest, it feels like it'd snap if you tried to do more than just that or that. So, yeah, not the best. This is where it's let down, though. You've got great elbows, you know, that most DC Direct figures have that swiveling elbow, usually do it on the knee too. And you know, a little joint. The downside is the fact that her shoulders, the only other point of articulation for the arm, don't come out at all, despite the fact they're jointed to. Like, that's the amount of movement you get, and just very stiff again, which is a massive shame. So again, not a figure you could really do any stop motion or fan film stuff with. But however, for the purpose I want it for, which is literally a display piece, Ivy, she looks incredibly cool. However, I do have to take articulation into consideration when rating these figures, so I'm afraid Poison Ivy is a 6 out of 10. That is still 3 stars, and that Dalek is totally checking her out. So, Poison Ivy, 6 out of 10, second villain in the Arkham Asylum wave, 2 with Victor Zsasz. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at my absolute favourite figure in the range. So stay tuned!